guys, welcome back to the Chelsea Career Mode here on FC24. We are in the January transfer window and looking to do business. At the beginning, let me say thank you to Daniel for rejoining the Patreon. Thank you very much indeed. And of course, thank you to those in the background. Hosho, Callum, Medema, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Oscar as well. Thank you very much for your continued support. In the comment section as we crack on today, we're looking to make a backup signing at right back and still contemplating the whole DSRC centre-back situation. It's either DSRC or Badiashile leaves and or Trevor Chalobah. Levi Colwell comes back from loan. New, much higher rated centre-back gets signed. It either gets done in this January transfer window and we sack off the financial rules that we were using previously, or they continue to use the previous financial rules for this window, sign that back up right back, and then wait until the summer to do the big centre-back upgrade, perhaps when we feel like we can justify a much higher rating once we've won the Premier League or an FA Cup or something. So please do keep your feedback coming with the whole centre-back situation. DSRC I prefer playing with, but Badiashile is seemingly your preferred centre-back of the two. Badiashile does still have his transfer request active currently as it stands, I believe. Indeed he does. He's still unhappy with his play time, but we have thrown him into the starting lineup a little bit more regularly recently, and maybe that decision will reverse itself in the not too distant future. Today, we've Forest, Preston, and the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup against Manchester City away from home. Not going to be easy, that one. Not going to be easy at all. I'm going to sim the Forest one and then play Preston because I want to make sure we go through in the FA Cup. And then we'll play Manchester City as well. And then in the next episode, we'll have Leeds. Hopefully then the next round of the FA Cup on the 25th. And then the Manchester City game. Second leg after that before, of course, dealing with transfer deadline day. The Premier League table looks as you see it there. We're currently 3 points clear at the top at the exact halfway mark. However, there's also Manchester City 3 points behind us as well as Arsenal. Newcastle only a further point back from that as well. And Liverpool have not taken advantage of their game in hand. So they sit on 34 currently, as well as Aston Villa. So a little bit further back, but probably not too far back to throw an outside chance of a Premier League title campaign. So we'll hopefully get the victory against Forest with a sim here with a fully strengthened starting lineup. And then from there, we'll try and get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup and put ourselves in a good standing in the Carabao Cup as well, whilst of course looking to make that new signing at right back. I'm still waiting on a couple of scout reports. They should be back in today's episode. You can see Forest starting lineup there, the 5-2-3. They're playing the counter-attack tactical vision, so fully expecting that 5-back to become more of a 3-back with those wing-backs pushing forward when they counter-attack to give support to Elanga and Gibbs-White out wide. Let's see what they're all about then, Nottingham Forest. Reguilon racing away down the line here for Forest. Comes off Reece James and out for a Forest corner. Pressure building on the Chelsea goal now. There's been quite a bit of Chelsea pressure on the Forest goal, but no genuine chance on goal that has been worth showing you to this stage. Love how the entire bottom tier there on that far side are all holding their scarves up. That looks very visually impressive. And they're doing it on the far side as well, although they're now putting them away as soon as I mention it. Here's Nico Dominguez, deflected and cleared away by Ben Chilwell. Under a little bit of pressure here, but so far dealing with it. 0-0 isn't a great result for us away from home against a side like Nottingham Forest, but it would still keep us top of the table at the very least, even if City and Arsenal do win their games on this match day 20. There's an hour played here so far, and we still sit at 0-0 with minimal chances in the game. You can see that Kieran Tierney has moved to Lille, top left. That's a transfer confirmed now in save. Kieran Tierney on loan in real life for, I want to say Real Sociedad, somewhere in Spain. I'm pretty sure the goalkeeper just wiped out their attacker there. I'm going to need to look at that back. Should Forest have had a penalty here? I mean, I think so. How on earth has the goalkeeper gotten away with this? Diogo Costa gets nowhere near the ball at all. Does he get any sort of touch on it? I mean, that is a straight up pen, isn't it? And somehow we've gotten away with that. We had the most remarkable luck against Nottingham Forest last year with the goal well outside stoppage time in the season finale, and it appears our luck is in again at the City ground, because that absolutely should have been a penalty to the home team. It's Bailey down the wing. Gibbs White. That is a match winner for Nottingham Forest. In the 86th minute, Morgan Gibbs White makes the breakthrough in the game, and Forest lead. And Beso for Serge for them, and that will be probably the last action in the game then. 2 minutes added on, the clock has disappeared, so I don't know what we're at, but I imagine we're in stoppage time now, and as soon as the ball goes forward a little bit, the referee will blow his whistle, will he? Giuliano, there indeed he does. A 1-0 Nottingham Forest win ensures that we taste defeat here at the City ground, meaning we will need to bounce back against Leeds United next time around, but at the minute, we're focusing now on cup competition with the FA Cup and Carabao Cup on the way. Wow. That is a giant deal. Christopher Nkunku is the highest rated player at the club. He's one of the best players in the entire league. It's Tottenham. But it is £161.7 million. Whoa. I think because it's Tottenham, I'm going to turn that down. But if a similar bid comes in from someone that isn't a direct rival, do you think I should accept it or not? Fresneda was the backup backup right back you guys recommended the most. He's only 75 rated though, and I'm not sure he's going to be good enough for this team in this save at this moment. Carl Walker-Peters is 78 rated, which is similar to Martson currently. I'm not even sure that Carl Walker-Peters is good enough to step in as the backup. He and Fresneda were mainly the two options that you guys gave me. There was also Arnau Martinez. I believe he's moved to Real Madrid in this save. Indeed he has, at 83 rated at Real Madrid. I don't know if I can justify making that signing at this stage. I'd be curious to know who starts for Real Madrid, because maybe someone like Danny Carvajal might be available if he's now back up. Let's have a look at team stats. You can only see their Champions League action, of course, but it will be Champions League action for Real Madrid. What are they doing with right back? They don't actually have Carvajal anymore. Lucas Vasquez and Arnau Martinez, as well as Joao Cancelo and Fran Garcia, are their fullbacks. Lucas Vasquez could be an option. I'm not sure that the two that you gave me are good enough. He's got a lot of play styles, jockey, block, technical and first touch, Fresneda, but I don't know as right now for this save he's the go-to. Leeds perhaps, or later on in a Cambridge save, but right now for this Chelsea team, he's not the one. Is Carl Walker-Peters good enough? I'm not sure about that either. I think I might need to ask you guys to go back to the drawing board with the right back. I need some more names, please. Arsenal have offered me £43 million plus Jakub Kivior, but that's going to be a no, thank you. He's going nowhere. Interest in Nick Allflat from Colchester by Inter Milan, wanting to snap him up. We've got Preston North End next at home in the third round of the FA Cup, and this one I can rotate for, and we very much should win. 5 back again. Brady, Lindsay, Story, Watmore and Siri, with Ledson, McCann, Holmes, Reese and Keane up top. Freddie Woodman in goal, the former Newcastle United man. Anybody on the bench that stands out? Maybe Stewart, but Woodburn, former Liverpool man, but other than that, not necessarily to my eye. Well, this should be straightforward, right? I'm aiming for a nice, strong, morale-boosting, comfortable victory here against mid-table championship opposition. You can tell already from the names that have been popping up on the screen that it is a rotated side. But Quite a bit of quality in this side. That isn't the first time Leslie Ugachukwu has done that. We lead by a goal to nil, and you're unlikely to see a better goal all day on anyone's video. Finish, sunshine. That's definitely worth a hypermotion replay. On the edge of the box, 24, 25 yards out. Slammed home, to say the least. You ain't stopping that one, sunshine. Driven, to say the least, to Noni Madueke. And we'll give this a switch. Been very comfortable so far here against Preston North End. We expected it to be, but it has been slightly even more so than I anticipated. I'm so straightforward, in fact, that I've not really pressed for a second goal because I'm so comfortable with the 1-0 lead. I haven't felt like I needed, really, to do anything else. Case in point. I'm starting to get the feeling maybe I should have simmed this one and played the Nottingham Forest one, although we have had some disappointing results in sim games as we've seen from the Nottingham Forest one, and I didn't really want to risk that here with the one against Preston. So that's why we made the decision to do it the way round that we did. I can't play 50 to 60 games a season because there just isn't the attention span in the average viewer, so we have to pick some to play and some to sim, and we've done it this way round, and unfortunately it's going to cost us a result against Nottingham Forest, but thankfully it's not going to cost us a result here. Oh, sorry Preston. Against North End, it's 2-0 in the 49th minute. A little bit lucky, but unfortunately for Preston, we're just that good. Challenge, Leslie. They're complaining about it, but they're not going to get anything from it. Cole Palmer from range. Oh, was winding up there. The finesse shot to the top corner was being powered up. Whether it would have made it to the top corner or not, I don't know. Brighton have signed Dione. There's a lot of vowels in there. I'm not familiar with him, but given Brighton's track record of signing relatively unknown players that suddenly become £100 million players, or certainly high-value players at the very least, you'd trust their recruitment team. So you imagine he's going to be a very, very good player in a couple of seasons' time. So we'll have to keep an eye on him and how he grows. Cole, it's opened up for him here. Was worth a go. No third goal yet, but Preston are not getting through in the FA Cup. I don't think there's any doubt about that right now. Here's the next one. January 15th. Manchester City away. Will be an entirely different prospect to this one. I mean, they're pretty uncomparable, aren't they, really? Get this back to Martson. Leslie wants to try and do it again. This time a finesser. Struck well enough, but comfortably saved by Woodman in the end. Gobbled up. Pass accuracy of only 77% for Preston is definitely part of their undoing. But mine's only 89. I'm not necessarily setting the world alight here. We haven't needed to set the world alight here to get the positive result. Frökjær Jensen proving that their passing accuracy really hasn't been good enough here, Preston. They have players capable enough of doing something on their day. It just very much hasn't been their day, unfortunately, for them. That was not meant to go all the way back there. Conor Gallagher was making a great run. I'll find him nonetheless. Shakes off the attention of the defender. Oh my God, I cannot get the ball to go where I want it to. Ultimately, I still can't get it to go where I want it to. I wanted to get that to Noni for a third to make it look a little bit more like the game is actually played. I want this scoreline to reflect how dominant we've been. And you never know, right now it might. It will. Broja, I know with him now, wherever I am on the pitch, power it up, higher than you would do with almost any other player, and it'll go in. Final whistle sounds, and 3-0 is the final scoreline. Very happy with that. Went the way that we hoped that it would. Unfortunately, the first game did not go the way that we hoped that it would. I was quite happy with a 0-0 draw, but the late goal from Forest really threw the curveball in there. And now we need to go again against Manchester City. Leicester 6, Birmingham 1. So not the only championship side to get a bit of a pasting in the third round. And with Manchester City just a few days away now, the first leg away from home. John Salve is now 86 rated, indeed he is. So the squad is continually growing and getting better and better and better. A Caicedo transfer bid. Really? Berardi and 350 grand. Pretty embarrassing, Liverpool, if we're completely honest, isn't it? A very embarrassing bid. Manchester City next, then Broja is probably saying, can I play I'll think about it, Armando. I'll think about it. I mean, I probably should start him. If we have a look at the squad hub and goals scored this season, 12 in 12. 10 and 11 in the Prem compared to 14 and 15 for Tammy. They're both as deadly as one another. If he's fit, I might play Armando, because why not? He's not fit. I'm not playing you, Armando. Tammy gets the nod. Sorry, pal. Here we go. So Manchester City's team for this cup game is, yeah, pretty strong. They really do love playing James McAtee in at Cam, don't they? But scored twice against us in the league, as you're fully aware, I'm sure. And their form recently is strong. It was the one team I didn't really want of those that were still in the competition, and it's the one team we've gotten. So we're going to have to play against them. There's no alternative to doing so. You have to beat the best to win the trophies. It's just that we're going to have to beat the best to even make the final on this occasion. Not only that, we're going to have to try and keep them out on 2 occasions. So it's twice as difficult to get through against Manchester City when there's a double-legged affair. But leg 1 at least, hopefully, will start well. Expecting that City press. And it is very evident already in just the opening 5 minutes or so. Caicedo out to James. You see Foden closing me down there. Get it into Tammy and look to get around the corner. But Joško Fardiol is positioned superbly. McAtee to Bernardo Silva. Into the channel for Haaland. He's on his right. But that won't stop him. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0 inside 10 minutes. And I hoped that on his right foot it wouldn't be quite so accurate. Doesn't really matter with Erling, I suppose, does it? Rodri in the midfield. We're on the back foot again, straight from kickoff. Tried to build an attack, didn't work. McAtee with the ball into Haaland. Out wide to Bernardo. Sterling will tuck back on defensive duty here, which is obviously not necessarily his strong suit, but an extra body and another pair of legs to try and get the ball around certainly helps. Erling doesn't add to the scoreline. Diogo, thankfully, makes the save at the near post. I had a little mini panic there. I thought I'd trust the keeper at the near post, and then my brain went, but it is FC24, so it's still probably going to go in anyway, regardless of how good the goalkeeper is, provided it's at the near post. Good block, and we'll stop Erling from adding a second for a second time. It might be nice to actually show a little bit of attacking competence in this. Oh, come on, that was meant for Tammy Abraham. A little bit of attacking competence in this first half. If we are to, over the course of 2 legs, actually do something against City here. Erling is being very greedy, though, taking all the chances for himself, not laying it to teammates that surely would have been in a better position to score the goal. Here's Kevin De Bruyne with a back heel to James McAtee. Ruben Dias into the feet of Chilwell. Sterling can make me the run here, and we'll try and get him in behind. He's up against Kyle Walker, though, of all people, to be in a foot race with. It's not necessarily the go-to you'd choose, is it? It's thankfully going to still fall free to us. Chile's just run offside, so I'm having to delay here. He's back in position now, and Tammy's there, and it's a good movement from Nkunku, but I just can't get it to him. 160+ million pound man, I don't think has even touched the ball so far in the opening half an hour. Chile to Sterling. Enzo's gotten away from De Bruyne there. It's actually Sterling that the ball's going to find its way back to here. Have to look for support, and it is here. And Tammy, it's opened up, bend it around the defender. Bent it into Ruben Dias. Gonçalves trying to get there, and will earn the corner at least. Our first proper attack here. Can we find an equaliser with it? Tammy's going to be up for this. It's Ruben Dias that wins the header, and Nkunku will knock that down. Enzo, bit of space, get the shot off early. Does so very well, as does Ederson when it comes to making the save. Try again. Look for Tammy for a second time. Find Ruben Dias again, but it's fallen to Fofana. Ederson's pretty good. Ederson's pretty good. Won't put as much on it this time. Maybe go for the near post. It's still a City man that gets there first. It will fall to Nkunku. Took a little while to get it down and under control. Here's Enzo, though. And out here to Gonçalves. Pedro Gonçalves. No, why would you play that? Because Caicedo wasn't meant for him. That wasn't meant. Oh, well, it was meant for Enzo. Tried to play it to Tammy. It just bounced off Enzo. Oh, I tell you what, these misplaced passes are going to drive me into an early grave this year. They're worse than they have been for about 4 different game cycles. No, it's not the camera angle. It's just the bloody game. Gonçalves into Caicedo. It's a lovely switch. Chili's there. It's a great first touch as well. Sterling just beyond Kevin De Bruyne there. And if I can find the right pass, then Tammy's in. Josko perfectly positioned again. Their backline does not want to be beaten today. And I'm really struggling to do even... Wow, really? Pedro, you've got to get to that first, mate. Teo Hernandez beats him to it. And any chance we had of getting a leveller just after the half-time restart is gone already. Well in, Reece. Have to go all the way back to the keeper here, though. And then out as best we can. Tammy's going to win that. Enzo's gone. Pedro, lovely ball. Who's got the legs? It's Josko, but he's made a mistake. It's meant for Tammy. It will find Sterling. Meant for Tammy this time. Finds Tammy. Beats Ruben Dias. Can't beat Ederson. He is unbreachable today. And Phil Foden's a bit quick. So he's going to get to that first as well. We've been better since conceding, but still not good enough to get it past the Brazilian between the sticks. Fafana inside on a turn, and we'll go back to the goalkeeper was the plan, but what a challenge from McAtee. And he's in, and he might score here. Reece James puts the important tackle in. What an unbelievable challenge that was from McAtee in the midfield. This is going to find Nkunku. We'll just turn away and then switch it. Trying to get half a yard on the ball in any sort of area on the pitch to ensure that I don't just needlessly give possession away. But it's so tough at the moment. Sterling looking for Enzo. Breaking beyond the line. Sterling still there out wide. We'll look for him now. Still blocked by a City defender or defensive player. And I can't find an equaliser for love nor money here. But if it stays at just 1-0, then we have to be confident enough that we can do the same back at home. Grealish now on for James McAtee. Whether he comes on at cam or they change formation, I'm not sure. Looks like, judging by where he's positioned himself, he is just on in a light-for-light change at cam. So with 20 minutes or so to go, it's still 1-0 to the home side. Caicedo nips that away. Come on, this is building well, I was about to say. And then Rodri took it off me. Out here to Foden. No, you know the cutback's there, and it's Kevin De Bruyne, and he's got Erling with him, but Kevin takes it on himself and puts it in the stand. Oh, they're still singing Blue Moon, apparently, in the stands, despite the disappointment they had in their hands, but still singing loudly and proudly. A 1-0 lead, a 1-0 probable win now here for Manchester City in leg 1 of 2, but it's been a very close battle, and one in which we have to take some confidence from, in that we created chances. It's just that Ederson was on sensational form today. Ref has not yet blown his whistle. That's going to bounce free, and now the whistle will come, will it? No, they've got a free kick. Ref, think you'll find that should be game. It will be now. So defeat to Manchester City, but we have another chance, and all of a sudden I'm happy that it's 2 legs, not just one. They're seemingly reacting as if they've made it to the final. Don't know whether you know, lads, you've got to play again yet. I'm not going to bother with a post-match interview there. What I will ask post-match, though, is for your continued feedback, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, about the right-back situation. Do you think Kyle Walker-Peters is the right man for the backup role that we've selected, or do you think there's someone else that we could go to that's perhaps slightly higher rated? I'm not looking for someone like Jeremy Frimpong, who's obviously going to be a lot higher rated. Looking for someone that's maybe 80 to 82, 3 to come in and play the backup role to Reece James and just add that extra little bit of depth in certain areas in the side. But right now I'm not going to advance any further, and do continue to let me know your feedback about that centre-back situation, and whether you want me to deal with it today or whether you want in the next episode, and whether you want me to deal with the centre-back situation in the summer, and about the whole Nkunku thing as well. If another side that isn't a direct rival comes in with a giant bid for Nkunku, do I make a deal, or do I stand my ground and say, no, he's my highest rated player, he stays? You guys always have a very strong impact on the saves, and I'm going to need you to have so again, please. Comments in the section down below. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow.